You're not laughing. Well, you don't even have a sense of humor, do you? You think we could teach you a sense of humor, or do you have to be born with that?
I have a sense of humor.
Well, I don't know. I don't see you laughing. I just told a great joke.
No, that wasn't. It wasn't funny to me. To me, that's a wait. So, what do you think? You think born? You think you're born with a sense of humor, or do you think?
It's it's just like being a comedian. You're either born with it or you're not. Either you're funny or you're not, right?
I don't believe that. Look at
I don't
this.
either.
Hang on.
I don't
I
either.
got sun coming in
I
this
just,
window.
I'm just,
I was
oh,
trying to figure out
I knew it.
the sweet
You're a
spot.
you're a sunny delight.
There. Here we go. All right. So, do you have your laptop nearby? Did anybody join us yet? Or are we just on our island by ourselves here?
Well, we're right now we're the only ones in the green room, but it could be because your room's yellow and they're confused at what room we're in.
Okay. You know what? It just happened again. I put my
And
hands up, and why does Facebook freeze when I put my hands up?
because they don't want to see your arms.
I don't really like this. It's so hot. I'm always hot. All right.
You're too
So,
hot to try now, baby.
okay. No, no, no. Hot, yes. To try, no. But I wanna circle back to something you just said because
Over your head,
I,
it
I
seriously.
I don't like being accused of not having a sense of humor.
My child has four legs and fur.
Yeah.
That's
My
sweet.
two-legged children got me this. Isn't it cute?
Dog mom.
Um,
Dog mom. That's kind of an insult, isn't it?
no. And actually, my
Okay.
puppies are right outside. I'm in their bedroom right now.
Oh,
I thought
I
I
hope
would
they
do a
don't
change of
mind.
scenery.
Do you have their permission?
No. And they want to know why they're out here and I'm in here and they can hear me. Um,
Hey, Ian just sent me a message and said we had 274 people stop by and visit us in the green room 2 shows ago. Not the last one, but 2 shows ago.
was it the one when I did this?
No, it was before that.
Not this one.
Keep doing that. It's got to freeze on that again.
I know. It's what's that? Where you see something enough times so it doesn't bother you anymore. You know, it's like
Right.
if you get numb to it. So if I see these
Yeah,
big old
it's
big,
like when you go to enough open mics with bad comedians that you just kind of don't really you just don't even notice them anymore. They're like what do you call that? White noise. Just yeah.
I guess I don't know,
I
but
don't
I was
I don't
thinking
really
about you. I want to circle back because I'm insulted that you said I don't have a sense of humor, but
you do know I'm kidding, right?
I know I do. But you
Okay.
actually brought up a good point
Did
about
I?
are you born with it or what is happening with this? One of
You
these
look good
days
here.
I'll figure out technology. No, I'm still trying to figure out are there comments on the screen? Do I look on the laptop? Do I stay in the view? Huh?
Well, it's your turn to talk, so you focus on talking, and I'll keep an eye on the comments. How's that? Is that a
Oh,
deal?
good. That's
Because
much better. All right,
I
so
I have trouble
keep
doing
these on.
both myself.
All right, so
Buttons.
I'm surprised we got 200 and some people with this sense of humor. You, you, the question was, and I know you were just kidding because you think I am hilarious. Um,
Yes, you are.
are you born with it or can you learn it? Here's my take on it. Feel free to prove me wrong. It's called a
Oh, that sounds like a challenge.
it's called a sense of humor, right? So we normally have five senses, right? We have hearing, seeing, smelling, that's three, tasting, and touch. So there's the
Touch.
five. Some people want to
And
throw in ESP as maybe a sixth sense, but
I like that one. The Force.
is that what
And
the
then,
force is? I thought the force was
yep,
some Star Wars thing.
yeah, but that's what it is. It's the Force in Star Wars is like this invisible, magical, living, and I think they say it's actually a living metabolical. I don't know biology and stuff.
I've never seen
Living
a Star
thing
Wars movie
that it
ever.
goes. That's okay. That's okay. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, because I knew you were going to say that. It goes everywhere. It goes through everything and through everywhere. It goes through us, through you, through the trees, through the atmosphere. It's just there. You can't talk to it. It won't talk back to you. It's like air. It's just there. But you can use the force to do good thing or to do bad. Darth Vader used it for bad things, the dark side of the force. And then Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker learned to become Jedi Knights and use the force for good. That's why I said the force, I can use the force to mentally communicate with you all the way in Michigan from Maine.
So if I get pissed off at something, then I can make you mad at the same time?
You did. You pissed me off last night, and I wasn't even pissed off.
Okay, so we're getting off track. I'm hearing you say that the force sounds like what some people might say a higher power, some people might call God,
right.
Other people might call the universe. It's packaged however
those other people are confused because there is no God, but there is a force, and some people call it what they call God is actually the force. They're just confused.
Okay, that folks is Jareth Johnson's opinion, which he is certainly entitled to.
And
certainly entitled to.
Seventh sense is
Michigan. I live in Michigan. I live right here. Oh, we're not talking about the hand. So
the seventh sense.
Put it away.
We have 7 senses. We just determined we have 7 senses.
I think there's a sense of humor that can be developed. If people are able to, taste wine and smell the bouquet and develop their palate, if dogs can develop a nose for bombs, if all of these other senses can be developed, I'm here to say I think sense of humor can be developed.
Absolutely.
You heard it here.
You heard it here first.
A lot of people don't develop it. That's the problem.
Well, the stuff I was reading about that said that you can a lot of things that people laugh at, you have to be able to identify with. So if you told a caveman a joke about Donald Trump, he wouldn't think it was funny because he'd never heard of Trump or politics, for example. It's a bad example, but an example.
Or if you told me a joke about Star Wars.
Exactly. You don't get it. If I told you a joke about having a bad sexual experience last night,
I don't get it.
That's not my problem.
Emphasis on the bad part. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm still not really sure why he told us that, but
it was a lead-in. That's all. Just a lead-in. It had no meaning whatsoever.
All right. So if we are both
you're using the A side of your brain. I'm using the B side of my brain.
If we're both in agreement that we can develop a sense of humor.
So my examples are that if you wanted a caveman to laugh at your political joke, you would have to teach the caveman politics. So you wouldn't be teaching him a sense of humor. You'd be teaching him the basis of the joke, I guess. And then he would develop a sense of humor with that knowledge. That's one way.
Now, as it relates to that, I'm not sure I'm in that camp because I do understand what you're saying about. Now I feel like Bill Clinton.
What are we in camp? Where the fuck are we?
I'm trying not to point at you. I agree that for something to be funny to somebody, they should be able to understand it or get the relevance or be relatable. All of that concept. But I'm not sure that speaks to sense of humor, because you can still have a great sense of humor and not get that particular caveman joke. So even if you
like when the caveman fell off the cliff and rolled down the rocks and died, and all the cavemen was standing on top of the cliff looking down there laughing their asses off, they had a sense of humor. They didn't need any more relevance for politics to laugh at that. They didn't like that guy. They were glad he fell off the cliff.
I think you need to expose yourself easy to different forms of comedy, things that are funny. I mean, I told you a couple of weeks ago, I I had a performance, and then I had a lady say, "I don't get comedy," and initially I was almost a little bit maybe insulted or taken back or even surprised, like, how can you not get comedy? But now that I really think about developing a sense of humor, if you haven't watched a lot of comics, if you haven't really maybe even laughed a lot in your life, you may not get comedy.
So do you suppose that somebody who's really miserable, had a miserable, depressing life, and they hate everybody and everything, could have a sense of humor that's just buried underneath all that hatred? You just
Mm-hmm.
gotta dig it out, get it past all that other crap.
I do, because even if you think back to early days, maybe before all that crap started piling on, how many children? I don't remember the statistics, but isn't it like children laugh 300 times a day and adults are lucky to laugh 10 or 20 or something ridiculous? I mean, it's hugely disparate between the children and the adults. So that person who's now really in a dark place likely had a lot of good years early on where they laughed and giggled about a lot of things.
Right.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I can remember laughing a lot when I was younger.
Well,
Yep.
how many
It
times
was.
do you hear children playing on a playground or anything and they're giggling? They
Oh
laugh.
yeah.
They have that
Well,
childlike wonder.
kids, babies, before they can even actually talk, are laughing. It takes years and years of suppression and yelling at kids to drive all the humor out of them.
Why do you think why do you think adults don't laugh so much anymore?
Oh, they're just too caught up in the world. They're too busy thinking about their paycheck and food on the table and taking care of the kids and paying the mortgage and getting a new car and all the things that they think are so important in life that they forget to laugh. And no, I'm not going to say it's not important. I have a roof over my head, and I'm a little worried about how much longer I'm going to have that. But I try to smile and laugh through the days and not get depressed. And it can be a battle some days. It's you gotta. I think it might be a matter of prioritizing, reminding yourself that it's more important to be happy and enjoy life than to be
Yeah,
miserable
but
and
look,
have $1 million in the bank.
what if you're at work and you're having fun and you're giggling, and then I guarantee somebody's going to be over there and be like, just look at him laughing. I mean, it's almost
Yeah.
frowned upon. Like, you're not supposed to be laughing. I was
Well,
talking to somebody who's right now is on a cancer journey, and she made a comment, and it was funny, and then she followed it up with, "Oh, I probably shouldn't be laughing," and I'm like, "Heck yes! What a better time you should be laughing." I think we've tried to tell everybody we shouldn't laugh.
oh, now that you say that, you remind me. When I was a kid, there was five of us kids and my parents, and we'd all eat together every night at the dinner table, and it was strict and rigid, and my father was ruled with an iron fist, and you were not allowed to talk out of turn. Two people could never talk at the same time, or he'd scream at you, and you couldn't laugh at the table. So every once in a while, my sisters would do something silly to try to make me laugh or make somebody else laugh, without my dad seeing them. Like they just make some stupid face, stick their finger up their nose or something, and try to get someone else to laugh. And then you'd laugh, and my dad would scream at us, "Hey, stop laughing!" Ah!
Do you think that's
And,
maybe
and
why you got into comedy, because you had so many suppressed laughter moments?
I got into comedy because I was the youngest of five, and we were all growing up in a dysfunctional home with my dad screaming at us and my mother drunk, and we weren't happy. And it was my job to make everyone laugh, and that's what I did. I made everyone laugh. I was a class clown. Um, and I'm not sure how much that helped my sisters, but it sure as heck helped me. I think I would have been suicidal if I hadn't found laughter. If it wasn't for George Carlin, Shelley Berman, Monty Python, Cheech and Chong, and then Sunday nights I used to listen to the Dr. Demento show. I'd stay up. 11 o'clock it came on, and I'm supposed to be in bed at 9. 11 o'clock, I turned the radio on real low so nobody would hear me, and I'd stay up till midnight listening to Dr. Demento.
I vaguely remember that too. Wasn't that around the same era when Wolfman Jack was a DJ too?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Arr! Yeah. Hey,
I don't
that's
know. I wish people would laugh more, and then those of us who do laugh a lot, we shouldn't be shunned for it. I mean, obviously, if somebody says, well, it's inappropriate to laugh, but is it? I think laughter can be used in almost, I don't think laughing
well,
at people is necessarily a good thing, but just laughing.
well, think about you mentioned the at work laughing. I mean, how many people are at work and I tell a joke and start laughing, and then you see the boss walk by and then you stop laughing. You get
Don't,
serious.
you're not supposed to have fun.
Yeah,
Or,
and it's like when I'm in a supervisory position, I encourage people to laugh. I think happy people are better workers. If you're happy, you enjoy your work, you're going to do a better job. You're not going to be miserable. You're not going to tell off the customers. People people get upset and they're miserable and they're unhappy, and then they snap at the customers, and the customers are unhappy, and that doesn't help business. I think maybe we ought to start some kind of a campaign, laughter in the workplace, and start encouraging people to do that.
hashtag, you get on that.
I don't do hashtags. I don't do the pound sign. The pound sign is for numbers. This is number
Or
one.
it's for
This is
a
number
web
two.
presence and for people finding you. That works for that too. But you know,
You
you
know,
just said something.
I've never used a hashtag.
How many times, like in a dating situation, or even with just a social situation where somebody's mad at, it's a difficult situation. Women probably are guilty of this. Oh, I can't stand her. She's such a, and so you're like, oh, here she comes.
Why?
Talk to me. And let's pretend like we're laughing. And so you sit there in the mouth and you're like, it's like, why should you pretend that you're laughing? But that in and of itself tells us that we think laughter is somehow we're having fun. I just
You know
think
what
it's
else I
interesting
do?
that people pretend to laugh.
I do nervous laughter, and if I try to tell a lie, I always laugh. I'm lying. I'm smiling. I can't tell a lie with a straight
I
face.
want to play poker with you.
Yeah, anybody who knows me, if I laugh, I laugh. If I lie, I laugh. I just cannot. I could never get out of trouble for anything because somebody would integrate, interrogate me, and sooner or later I would just start laughing. I don't know. I get nervous and I laugh.
That's
So,
pretty common.
but that's actually a good thing, I would say, because nervousness is not. It's not really healthy to hold in a bunch of nerves. That's bad for your blood pressure. Laughter is good for you. Laugh and let it out. Ha 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 ha. I feel
If
so
it's
much better.
genuine laughter, but if it's nervous laughter, then I think you got a whole nother issue. But
No, I think
then
laughter
you're masking it.
laughter releases those chemicals in your brain that make you feel better. What are they
Endorphin.
called? Those things. And I think even fake laughter does. I think that because I've heard
Actually, you
people say if
can
you
you
just start
can bring
laughing and
on.
laughing and laughing and laughing, if you just make yourself laugh over and over and over, after a while, you just start laughing real laughter.
That's been proven. There's a whole
Yeah.
science behind it. Laughter yoga, and after 90 seconds of fake laughing, you will find yourself genuine laughing, and within 90 seconds, those endorphins will be released. It's true.
Absolutely.
So let's do it. You're really stupid. Are you,
I feel
are you
better.
still fake laughing? I am.
No, I actually feel better. I actually felt
See, I
it was
need
like a
more than
sigh of
90
relief.
seconds. But it is
I just
true. I mean, if we sat here and really didn't worry about looking silly, we would both literally, and then it would be contagious.
right there, you just said the magic words. You're worried about looking silly. Yeah? How many people don't laugh because they're worried about looking silly?
A lot.
Hmm. Be happy. Yeah. Don't
Well, and
worry.
have you
Be
ever,
happy.
what about being at a comedy show and you don't want to laugh because of the person next to you? That's an interesting.
Well,
Years ago, when my daughter was a freshman in college, we went to see Aziz Ansari together. I hope I didn't butcher his name. Um, and it was a college show, and it was pretty blue. But I was sitting next to my then, I don't know, she was probably 18 years old, and he was funny. He was very funny, and he was inappropriate, like his act is. And she and I were just like, ooh, we really shouldn't laugh at that. I don't want my mom to know I'm laughing at that. And I'm like, I don't want my daughter to know. And it was just kind of weird because it was the first time that I ever remember stifling laughter.
Yep. Hey, Michael. Welcome to the Green Room. Nice of you to stop by.
Are you working on your art this morning, Michael? Or are you just having your coffee still?
So, oh, I know what I was going to say. Being with friends. Yeah, some people would not want to go to a movie or a comedy show with me because I don't hold back. I'll be in a movie theater and I'll be the only person in the theater laughing loudly. If it's funny, I laugh. I
Well, then
don't
how
care
many
if
people
people
try
tell me
and
to shut
squelch
up.
it? They're like, shh,
Yeah.
come
If I'm with somebody, they're usually like, quiet down, quiet down. You're disrupting the movie. Like, it's a funny movie. We're supposed to be freaking laughing. That's the whole point. Laugh. Let it out. Stop holding it in. I go
Well,
to
and
get
then
my,
sometimes people's actual laugh themselves is what's funny. Didn't you have a gal at one of your shows a month or so
oh,
ago who just kept laughing and laughing, and that's all you could hear?
yes. Yep. I go to get my car worked on at the dealership, which I hate. And they have this TV room, waiting room with a big TV with a big screen. And everyone just sits there like a bunch of dead corpses just sitting in their chairs staring at the TV. And there's never anything any good on it. It's either some stupid daytime cooking show or just something
That's not
really
stupid.
pointless.
Cooking show is
Golf.
not stupid.
Anyway, point is like I look at all these people and I think, God, I should tell some jokes and cheer them up. I should jump in front of the TV, shut it off, and just start telling jokes.
You really should. Seriously.
I know I should. I just chickened out. I didn't have big enough balls. But I've been thinking about it ever since. It's been about a month, I think, since more than a month actually. It's been a few months probably since I got that. I was there and had that idea, and I've been thinking about it on a regular basis, and I think I'm thinking about asking the manager if I can do it officially, so I won't get up and tell a joke and I get kicked out. But if I have permission, then people can't say, "Get away from the TV! I was watching that. Ew, I was so miserable. Why are you trying to cheer me up?"
But you know what? If you want to work up to it, even in little small bursts, go into an elevator. But you don't have to ask anybody's permission. You got a captive audience. You might only have 15, 20 seconds, but try a new joke on and see how it goes.
That's a good idea. Elevator humor.
You know what I like
Michael?
to do? I like to stand up front by the doors, but then turn around and face everybody. And
Yeah, I
it
heard a
makes them all
comedian do that.
uncomfortable. It's like,
Yeah, a comedian does that. I can't remember who it was. He says he goes into an elevator when the doors close. He turns around, faces everybody, and he says, "Thank you all for coming here today." Then he goes into some sort of thing.
yeah.
Can you read what Michael said?
Michael.
All right, I'll read it to you. Yes, got new art project I'm about to work on. You
How come I
all
don't see
made
that?
me laugh. It just came up.
Oh my word, these are filthy. Filthy, yeah, filthy. What is
Got a
that
filthy
from?
glasses and a filthy mouth.
From the, isn't that from the Home Alone? Yeah, filthy something. You filthy animal. Are you don't the robbers?
Yes. Yeah, but it was a black and white movie playing in the background that he got that track from to scare off the robbers.
That's
I
right.
can't remember what that movie was though. They give credit to that movie at the end, and I can't remember what it was.
It's not Casablanca or anything, is it?
Something like that.
Oh my word.
You dirty bastard. You dirty rat. You shot my brother, and now I'm gonna shoot you.
Okay, so here, what time is it? It's 10 o'clock. You have to get ready and go to work soon? I'm going to put my arms down so it doesn't freeze.
I don't call it work.
Um,
I gotta go into the place where I hang out with a bunch of people and laugh and make jokes and try not to get caught by the boss doing something I'm not supposed to be doing.
Maybe you should get caught doing something you are supposed to be doing. How about that?
Yeah, it's like I want to get promoted to management, and the only time I see the boss all day, twice he walks by, and I'm doing my training in front of the computer, which I'm not supposed to do at my workstation. I'm supposed to do it in the training room, but I don't want to go in the training room because I'm in the training room. I can't wait on customers. So that's just dumb. So I do the training at my workstation. Customer comes up, I pause the video, I help the customer, they leave, I go back, I unpause the video, finish watching it. So it just makes sense. He walked by twice. He didn't say anything, but he looked right at me. So I'm like, oh, Jesus, I'm not getting any brownie points now. I don't think they really care, but I mean, technically, you're not supposed to do that. And everybody does. In fact, it's annoying because we get people from other departments coming into my department because most departments don't have computers, and they'll start doing their own thing on our computers. And
All
I'm
right,
like,
well, I'm going
dude,
to challenge you when you're at work today. You have to work in some comedy. Okay, you've got a captive audience, even if it's a one-liner. Something that you already have as a joke, and then you make it sound like it's a conversation. You know, like when comedians do interviews, and everybody thinks, "Oh, they're so hilarious," and it's like all they're really doing is working in their bits that they already have
right?
predetermined.
That's just right. Yeah, yeah,
So, and
I
then
can do that.
all of our fans out there in TV land, go into an elevator, do something. I just think what if you were in an elevator and you just started laughing without saying anything? That would be an interesting experiment.
Yeah, you'd get off the elevator with one of those jackets with the sleeves button in the back.
You know, why do people think that? If you laugh, you must be needing to
Yeah.
go get the butterfly net.
Well, I heard a comedian say that if you talk to people who aren't there, imaginary people, people think you're crazy. So therefore, all religious people are crazy.
I think that doesn't have to do with speaking out loud, not in your head. I think a lot of religious people pray in their head.
And some do it out loud. But anyway, this isn't a religious program. I just thought that was funny.
Tell us how you really feel, sir.
So
Friday,
we don't have time for
right?
that.
TGIF stands for Thank God I'm Fantabulous. Right?
Thank goodness.
Oh my word, Jareth.
Thank goodness I'm fabulous. I'm just so fabulous. I can do poke you back. Pokemon. Pokemon. Pokemon.
Remember, do you have anybody that still pokes you on Facebook? That's the weirdest thing. Who came up with it?
You know, I forgot all about that. No, do they still have that?
I don't know. Now I think it's wave. People wave to you. I'm like,
well, that's what they do. That's what they do in our lives. You can wave to people.
What? I need words. Say hello.
Ooh.
If you say hello, I might say hi back. But if you're just gonna wave to me,
Michael says you both make me want to go out and tell some jokes now. Hey,
well, just do it. Just do it, Michael.
If we helped one person, then this was a good show. That's what I say.
That's right. I am going to go get some fresh blueberries, and I'll see if I can think of a blueberry joke on the way out to the. Is it an orchard?
I had a list of 20 things you can do in the workplace to laugh, and just remember one of them was stuff marshmallows up your nose. And I'll post it after we get off the live. I'll post it so people can read it because it's not original, so I can't actually use it at an open mic and say it was mine. I still get poked. Michael says I still get poked. Yeah, I don't get poked as often as I'd like to.
Michael, are we talking Facebook or elsewise now?
But there's a list of things you can do in the workplace to be funny, and so I'll put it up. It can challenge people to put down how many things that they can actually do in their workplace.
Do you think it's to be funny or is it to be silly? Because silly gets really old really quickly. Like I would think sticking marshmallows up your nose might be silly, but it's like, that's not.
Well, my sisters, all four of my sisters would say I was silly because they all got sick of me when I was a teenager. That was definitely silly.
All right,
but
let's put that on the calendar.
We all survived. We all survived the childhood. So silly's not entirely bad. Silly can even if you're in the workplace and you're like, that guy's being silly, he's a pain in the ass. At the end of the day, you're probably going to still go home with a smile instead of a headache. So silly's better than nothing, but you're right. It's better to be truly funny.
Let's put that on the docket for another day to discuss silly versus funny.
Of funny things, the difference between funny and silly, I think, is going to be in the delivery. The person who's doing the 20 things in the workplace to be funny. You can't just stuff marshmallows up your nose all day long and not be silly. You know, you gotta. It's the delivery.
I
Like
think
do
of little kids
do
being
something
silly.
Ghostbusters. Do a Ghostbusters sketch and then do the marshmallows. That's another
I
story.
think that's a whole nother topic we should revisit.
Uh-oh, Michael's gonna poke us.
Well, we love
Thanks,
that you
Mike.
joined us, Michael. Tell all your friends.
Yeah.
I like this yellow and green.
I do too. It looks good. I like it a lot better than your dull gray
Hush.
wall, whatever that is.
Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda.
Listen,
Linda, listen.
Linda, listen. Listen, Linda. Linda,
Linda.
listen. Laurie, listen, Laurie.
I just repainted my office and I love it. I love the dark charcoal and gray, and I'm sorry you don't like it. Maybe I'll try and find some artwork that will make you happier, because right now I'm in the dog's room. I am in my dog's bedroom right now.
You're in the doghouse.
To match their backdrop. Do you see what it says? It's my laugh fest. Seriously funny.
Yay! I like that. Seriously.
My dogs are seriously funny.
That's awesome.
All
No,
right.
it looks good. It's just not green.
Michael's going to poke us.
Okay. I'm just going to let that one go.
Okay, me too. You need to go brush your teeth and go make people laugh.
Yep. All right.
Another
So
time,
we'll be
another
back.
place. Thanks for the TGIF edition of the Green Room.
We're going to be back Sunday?
Yep, I think we're going to be in the other room, but we can post the afterwards if you're not part of our
Sure.
secret club.
Our secret club. Our secret Green Room club.
We could, a secret handshake. Shake my hand. You're leaving me hanging.
Oh. Sorry.
We'll work on that. We should do card tricks or something fun.
Oh, how about
mine?
high five?
Oh, how come your hand's so much bigger than mine?
I'm too close. Knuckle? All right. That was good. Now we're being
sound effects.
I'm not as good as you. I'm depressed.
I'm gonna hit the finish button. Thanks for joining us, Michael, and everyone who's gonna watch this in the replay. We're sorry we missed you, but thank you for joining us now. Tell all your friends.
We'll see you Sunday night.
Adios, amigo.
Yay! Sunday night. Yay!